mortirgal direct kal minister sa ngartiang ngaringi minister matul direct kal ngaringi minister obiang direct kal ngaringi advisor president kal girela toera education direct kal ngartiang chief of staff president mangartiang direct kal elobot lomte era ministry of justice direct kal ngartiang. So again agumtera president Travelur Belao ng artialo bengged altang mo diakam rangsi dia present seringi ang artialo bengged mergoy mo mga duulo ya ka chief of staff ringi madirek nga kakuk lang ringi akuk sawal kamam ng artialo kuyak cabinet ringi malungil tutawal mo other Belao rokuy mergo dalu tlungutial ngumsat chief of staff molo mol martial press conference.
Sila namin dia umobes media ni manier pura ukya kapitulo ng General Press Conference. Hindi na airs nitong potongan yung International Monetary Fund, IMF. President kami invite 30 dahil may uming General Press Conference. Daw ko na yung bukti mo o ay sa isa daw na years, the missionary del Nervela. So I will quick introduction of the IMF team that we have here today before we invite the mission chief to give us a few remarks. Jadi kalau saya berbicara tentang begini, kita mission chief al-Pulo ini, Dr. Sophia Chan, Director Mania Senior Economist, Miss Irina Yakalina, Mr. Ricardo Davico, Senior Information Management Officer, Ms. Kavita Ran, Economist, Mr. Neil Sacker, IMF President Representative of Fiji, Mr. John McAllister, Fifth Pack Representative. Director Maria. Director Maria, tayo mo madali arte wala kung given athletes. We have our local economist Mark Sturton, who's assisting Ministry of Finance. Director Maria, tayo mo bigyan rin din laliman marbela ng certain mission team. Maria, Andrea, who Minarois, lo que mabigat kalbiyan nila yung nagsasantang sa presidente ng mga Madirectal Georgina, who's with our Ministry of Finance. Dr. Chiang, amumaloko to koram rigel, as much as we can, yagi mo malas maloliyoy the almor arbekla ada Lorenza, ay keltigingelen mo to korbelaw. Dr. Chiang.
Thank you very much for hosting and welcome everyone for joining the consultation mission. We are truly grateful for the hospitalities and the productive discussion with government, representatives from the private sector, public institutions, the financial sector, and donor community. So allow me to share with you our preliminary mission findings, and we welcome follow-up questions. First, Palau's economic recovery is underway. Fiscal balance is improving, debt is declining, inflation is well contained. While real output was still below the potential in fiscal year 2024, it has returned to the pre-pandemic level in fiscal year 2025. Debt is still high. The growth prospect remains favorable, despite exposure to the global shocks and extreme weather events. The authorities' successful implementation of the tax reform and the continued efforts to modernize the tax system are commendable. Swift implementation of the pension reform is key. Grant from the renewed COFA agreement presents an important opportunity for the authorities to reduce debt for the current and for future generations, and to enhance the economic resilience. Going forward, Palau would benefit from structural reforms aimed at diversifying the economy, improving the infrastructure and climate resilience, attracting the skilled labor, promoting the foreign investment that generates positive impact, positive spillovers to the domestic economy. Reforms to modernize the financial system would be most effective, tailored to the Palau's specific needs, supported by improved financial literacy, safeguarded by the robust regulation and enhanced cybersecurity measures. So these are the opening remarks from me. and I welcome follow-up questions.
Thank you, Sophia.
President, Vice President, akmo mala sa malukor oli thersel alda kang yat sumong kura mo nga sang sele Vice ka uma Minister obi ang katakay nga sew ay kakura tokor gide lagi isay ra ablu mong diakal salve o tatit oli del mo tokor belaw mungulmo lang kal Sofia mereng asawlo mungulmo mereng asuli dar other belaw ma atang kay President tergid algirel ti tal santel mla sabi idel ngar belaw mga daudurar adra government, mga daudurar adra igal shobay, direct legal public institution, maigel gukto du kaseng finance sector, ma direct tirigel tira kukol nga seorigid, tumodong artik mo donor community. Direct nga nga igel ko ra preliminary, igel ko ra mare adalo sangir. Algire la tal sande lurior et tiral mutel monge malmongil at adura dalong lead algire la igel details. Nding sabi ilo ay sarigidal ko kasi agay sarigid mla omo ulal recover. So it's underway. Fiscal balance sa klungel although dal nga mortral sila balu amla startel improve ang maral maungil. Aklungel labal sed amral morio. Sel inflation sel ngiya 8% mo so is para arala adalang okla well contained. Hindi akal sal ngarapap. Direct Selam ko tong kasi real output. Sengara ko rapid tulom so tele president. Selklunge la akadra karinge la belul kita urior el girel artial mlomre kal fiscal year 2024. Amlal mo tel di tour nor selm level raw era pandemic. Seungil aisel mergiv. Nding dir ka ngaringi ablal sel dir ka talgibel ngarbab kadamel mol mal mangka damang mlamerio nding wal dir kal ngarbab aklung elabel sel ablur belaw sel kor osenge del mral bodulu mral maungil nding kada direk kal mal aswar el wasay ngaringi igel global shock sa igel tokol kuk mukat moklara ikrel ablur belaw al ngiya sabe el di wabol kukuk enguk change at tagi del economic landscape pergid. Tadirek kalmla mesa ngalwa se selmne tax reform medulngat moklar ngiray kalmla mombre kadrak sel PGST. Malmle successful ekadamelamol al masubar ngi emre eringil maungil matamal al kamendergid to ase pela amna rulia ngilurior al gidel tiang. Adirek luta bangal la dili parter tegal findings certira wasay amre lokot maklel sel nga reform ra pension ma SS agirel makatmok la amre at time sel tingel wasay swift implementation of pension reform is key. Adirek almla mesa ngal wasay selmle compact almlo sabi edal say ngangi lobanggela bulur amrigel maski da bulur bela wate al السبب التلقي بالقوقعة تابلسيد legal blal sa diakdil balset el kidar adr belar el altaim direct lo mal sa el future generation sel tal arol el maral may matial kampak ta maskita te el del gukongang ta pebiray kay gidel el blal sa el gidel legal tal arol el maral may ado mes el budulu ya bela wasabe el mes aklungyolel ang mangliwolel ra baby ra reform el sabi edel gutmokla tadirek kal malokora o sisil tokol plalo lokor nga president el waseng kire del diversified tial al gay sarikid hindi akal sabi el dito korak lokang koda nga au ula kadra karingid matames asay ekmon sabi edel improve ay gel infrastructure malubeng igel kora teletele kada diversified economic gid direk kal sabi edel egirev al attract skilled labor malartir gel adal tira madu abek padengel aurior al mool nga seora taygi del kay sar gidel gida umqororingi direk kal gide del mobla karangu del promote foreign investment o sigaw ula besel ludaw del mesois ba al moula karura al sela balur belaw ay geya mo uleng mo ngaringiya amuter klo ludaw del murtra al sela balu al mo improve aklangar adar belaw direk kal selwal last del point del blel sharing kay gidel Sofia awasay ay gel ngiya ko raul daswa البلا لويس رأل سلا بلور بلا المذر نايس ما الأبي قدقور أمك بأس أي قال financial system مرقيد الموضي تشيتا لما أقو قولا بأس للداس والمي دي أوريو رأل تسقو من سبئير القوت موكلا الجيرة لا يجلوس بأر أدر بلاو دي قال سبئير القوك بونغو واترا سيستم القوك بلالغت مقلي الجيرة لا ترى بلو أم داس الواسين لأموني رابلور بلاو ما يجي ذا الريفورم ما سيستم سلجي داس وادلو تيسبرا السلا بالواذ تيرغال أذرا IMF ديرك ال recommend المريجي دلواسي نجيري للمو تايلر ذا مالوبين قضا قوت مقلي الجيري در أذر بلا وما يجي لنا مذان الواسير أذر بلا وأوسبي تديرك المال stressor سيل واسي we need improve the financial literacy نجيري ذا المو بطوغ الأذر بلا الموضوع سبقلي لو ضوض أميت لو ضوض ما تلت لي لا سيبا وضوض لو مو الرار ما يقري الغالقة المرا المرا المكلو الأب إذا ريك لوليس أكبر أذا أي جاي جيد البئس السيستم الجيدا أموت مكلو الجيدا لقبل منت ما بلور بلاو غنيا غورا سوميل دوئل هذا غورا تلقيب اللولغسون سرايجل أويفيل منجي ملو لبong ratiging ela ko ramle invite ta questions ra adra media.
Thank you. How can Palau broaden and stabilize its revenue base without undermining the growth or hurting the most vulnerable household?
Introduction of the PGST can actually benefit the economy. So you mentioned already the VAT-based taxes, it broadens the base for the tax collection, and that would help alleviate pressures of the tax collection only from a small group of people. So there will be broader entities that will come into the tax net, including hotels, including restaurants who are making profits, right? And it also strengthens your domestic ability to generate revenue. And that is very crucial because so far, Palau is highly dependent on the grants from outside world. And you are being supported by grants which are important for your infrastructure and due to this very good relationship you have established with your donor community. But going forward, being able to generate these domestic revenues yourself help improve your self-reliance, right? And it's also very essential for economic and social support for the economy, right? So once you have more revenue, you'll be able to address longer-term climate vulnerability and demographic challenges. Give you an example, pension reform, right? So it is important that you can generate revenues in support together with other donor communities to allow the pension reforms to go through, and that will release the pressure for the future generations. And I also have to applaud that the tax system that you have right now is simple. It's good that it's simple, because for a country like Palau, have a simple tax system will reduce the cost for the administration. It reduces your fiscal cost and it gives you even more money to spend on the more important, right, social support, economic support. And I understand that when the VAT was, the PGST was being rolled out, right, there were some support to the vulnerable households, right? So there is this income redistribution factor being factored into the PGST. And I think there has been continued effort for the authorities to work on modernizing the tax system, right? Improving the tax administration further, and that helps you generate even more revenue. And then that tax system will be getting closer to international best practice. So the VAT-based tax is not something unique for Palau, right? So we have many, many countries around the world that have this type of tax, including all the Pacific island countries. Now, Palau is the lead in the compact countries. It's the first in a compact country that has gone through all the efforts in the last 3 years in collaboration with the IMF or PIPTAG, as well as other international financial institutions like the ADB, as well as the donor. They all work together to make this reform a success. And going forward, the modernization of the tax system will help you get even closer, right, to the international best practice and being the lead and the role model for other countries in the compact, including the Micronesia, as well as the Marshall Island. I understand Marshall Island is actually doing the peer learning, right, from Palau. So these all have gained important international traction in this space.
And my second question is, recently,
Hindi ka to itirsel, momre.
oh, okay.
Oo. To itirsel hen siringi. Misal na kanila misugiyama wase ngaray gelte al sabi edel kurar mura al sila balur bela wal niya kura help al broaden stabilize the revenue base edi akal sal mal mo ko tayar tirigel tira ko tel solar al sila balur. Mangkal dati da IMF Sofia amal din mo taklil wase sel comprehensive tax reform. Comprehensive tax reform adi akdi do sa sel di PGST sel Palau goods and services tax sel ngiyam no replacer sel mlem utal kuk omalyula tax sergi dal GRT directly di muklar ngi sel business profit tax may gele non-resident tax eng arang le roki dengya comprehensive tax reform say le increase the revenue base sergi mo to har adal harawa tax wasel lolo ko nga president lo say ay gal shobay adim lang al harawa income tax regel niya kuk kada la shobay may ilangeng wablal brother say gidal revenue base say ongos iya revenue gidal other belaw sel da ngay udo niya sa el morning ay gidal wa child raising subsidy may gel increase range sul mortigel al tira ako tal maabul direct kalmle ngara ko raw ngilom so del say vice president mlari adjust ay gale tax percentage al harawar ab material ko tal ngariyo kada karingira mo harara ngariyo tax tirigel ngarba kada karingir amo harara ngarba bal tax ay ya help al brother na stabilizer gidal al revenue base gidal other belaw material ko tal ngasol adyak do lutal malaser tir kadabay malaw do dra al sila bokketingir al gidela siungel adalang aklid mengilas sel tax ra GRT 4% tel mo 10% ma di do mes ringil di segi to kasetya maknit letya ngilas di bo do mes ringil adang le rokir eng pato kaw do dat sili sa brabok katingel engel kotel masura ngariyo ludo al other belaw sila dong utegi del al PGST ay gayam le example luluspe ang kal Sofia direct kan lo do say with increased revenue selbol ngarba pa kada karingel lakabalment multimok pertirigel tira sab irel gukol nga sergi dagel donor partner sergi eng sab edel gutmok lay kay gidel niya moklo tutelel reform alwat ko ra pension ma to ko ra SS direct kal kita ko ra dia kal sugang kita other bela di gidel amatrikid may katigingel lang kada tira IMF alwase subira al sela Pacific especially kay kita to kasing freely associated states ya belawa walo ya ku el nakut maklik ti ay gidal tax reform kita olegering il PGST hindi tiyang direkal si other kwaseng sel value added tax mar adra blura marshal mlao may sel merbela masuber ti alurio ren lampat moklar bela gidela tax reform al malat kalwasen sabi iral mong yang kut maklida bluri rel ditek mlapas ralla artir sel ni tijela al gidela avat system albol those pairing in Plura Marshall.
If I may.
Yes.
Just recently, we have heard our Congress leaders, they want to bring down the tax or remove tax from food. If you can share your thoughts on that as an economist or, yeah.
Thank you. As I mentioned earlier, a simple tax system in the case of Palau is a good. Because if you have a relatively simply, easily administered system, it will really reduce the cost for all the operations that are going to be involved in collecting the tax. And it will also help improve the compliance. Right? So that's why we believe that maintaining a good, simple tax system would be recommended.
And my last question is, on November 12 this month, President Trump stopped producing pennies because it cost 4 cents to produce a penny. And they're
Produce.
pennies, 1 cent.
Oh, okay.
And just recently, the Congress is looking at introducing a bill that since they stopped producing pennies, so let's say if it's 53 cents, they would round it off to 55 cents, and if it was 52 cents, it would be 50 cents. As an economist, what would you recommend to our leaders and our Congress on how to go forward with this new
Oh, this is really beyond the scope of our mission.
But yeah, so I just wanted your opinion on it since you were sharing about, economy. And I meant to ask our president today about his opinion on how can Palau move forward. But yeah, thank you.
Yeah. No, I think this is a question related to the payment, right? Related to the transactions. And I think it's actually important for us to understand a bit more about this and have more dialogue with people here, right, on the implications. Because what we do here for the Article 4 is not just to form our own opinions without talking to people, right? So we take note of your question, your concern, and we will explore more and talk to more people here and hear more their concerns and make our assessment at that point.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sophia. Selmle ongerum ongedel kadila misugi aman murtingal kadra IMF. Selongerung awase ngangi seludas wal molla alkidela atax ra kal. Alwase bol mumubutal mo diya atax at ora kal. Lasap edel bayo mo uladim katakli wase sera dira kadong ngarachi RT at akalum direct dira kamle tax. Semle 4% tax ra ay kal. Ma el doktor ay kagidel PGST nguk tingilas an mo 10%. Ding dia ka babamilit like nges wal ngi amurar adan mo so ilal for the arala kalit. Direct tara close to the dilia Sofia wase ataraklung yolel tel tax system mergir simple. Mboyota tele la implementation ringi selbodo mo ulal mari ringi wase kadukot to batiyang arang utungi arang eng mo mering la implement ringi leng mal mo complex edia ka system malngia complex enough mo kut maklisay egida momral bodul sel tax system mo to ka amersel sende ongedel karila misugiyama wase November 12 po ya President Trump mo stobel merula 1 cents ngel bukarkara tan sinchu al copper coin lelong 4 cents arala dorura 1 cents talgibal maknita o urasay matamosto mongulike raw da swil tirakal adra IMF tadilo kasi al timing wala dira kalbor niya da swil gidel say matabutan mo mga barbe bidar adya tibor nga niya will information etamo share lo bangete Jennifer malway se wala don mo press conference ki dito daw nga sulir tirakal IMF team. We thank you for the time that you've spent in Palau, and we appreciate your efforts and taking the time out to visit our very far away island. You're free to exit. Have a
very
stay
much.
rest of your trip.
For your warm hospitality and hosting this conference.
El Alto. El Alora le bay dito ay selo ase tiraka ka tilong ko ura di executive branch tiraka labong ko ura betul ado di nuclear tira ulbi da kalulaw matumilong ko ura ava House of Delegates Eli e mo mitlo bantarira adara Senator El Alcils e morogir tial mission tripper tira el Mirabalur Belaw. Maloy se President Pama Vice President Bodolomol mara tial press conference Waigel Mildong alwa se President Mlamo Edel Sandel Dibus Erul Sunday komeng ngedel Blue Erul Sunday mal Erul Sunday ahmal kamang ta sa Dibus sa President magimal misringi ako tel Blue lablor nga President sa Blue Middle East tel Qatar ang klel Ngulum te erablur belal mo attend sel Second World Summit for Social Development ang ngam sel capital city ra Doha. Amlelas de langar ngitial World Summit for Social Development te Baising mle 1995. Mal makatakatay ngitiya walong ngerung. Mle focus tial meeting ako ramle tokora education, tokora school Dr. Chengins kauma Pastor Marcelus low spare at omsub loltob tara adara alabula mong nila klangadatin mong mlan nga tele la presidential milnga do orsel mleklol plenary Michael kukoradim kakrel meeting direct mlan nga tele lo tersel al adadom kodong ringilwa se Alliance of Small Island States sel Belaw at sharing il al time al dalila igel niya Small Island Developing States ra balul adar rokuy. At tarawngil ay sel no sabela president del rongsi dal ngarsay al merki dar other bela wase sel graduation nargid al bodyak the low income or medium income mo high income al balu ablel bospon narngi al modern quarter 2027 na ablel dalil mara presidente Jennifer auto mangalam mga direkal mga solidar at media wase they heard the message tamlarmings le presidenta uspe rabek el te alla lo ay sertir el wase oy kom la dio mesa o ural nga rapapier el wase akada karing ila atar pela wawangrang din dia kam bodong el wase ndi yol tang covid ng ngarang klel ya pon kuku kesel kada karang mamiryo mundir kay gibom kalt mo klel kwat wait dal bom consider ka mamal mo high income madalong el ang maselong edel 40 2027 na engar ale dal smi kay ro huil ngia o ura ma information al mal submit al mortirgelo nga sergid kada direk al mal mereng asule la Australia al malol nga sergid al girel tiay gidal postponement tra graduation na rikid kada matingel wase sel do graduate with high income eng mo ulang madakal sabi edal access ar wa grant mangel sura pe binabalu neto wase tirakam la mo high income la mo sabi edal domestari lalo neng sabi idal al mangkab hindi kidamdang lisek mo se di hal klamrang mail mo 2027 neng giredal builders el kay sir hidal wasay kumamadir ko spe ang eso ay gimbre ay kel sa mamar al sela balumam ludi mo klar nga gidal wa tax reform ma reform ra wa SS ma pension hindi gitir ko spe ang eso more sel time serabol mare Qatar ing lan nga telel mora balim abalim ma gikalel balul nga ray kay gidale Brazil kada matingel wase Brazil a hoster sel nga conference of parties el gidel sel kuk UN Forum for Climate Change, mlaring ate lelel morsel today Leaders Summit, direct lulum tera balur belaw ma ay gagidele sel AOCs, sel Alliance of Small Island States. Al ngia di mo move talo melek laigel ngia moklol tutelel el gired, gidel do lo ngia blulado lo ase we're at the forefront of the impacts of climate change. Mangmal aroy datial al Brazil, the president tamle tega time al morsel mo o make the case not only for Palau but for the rest of small island developing states rablulab. Selmlo labong al balulab lorngi amnora Washington DC mukom la amlame se Miss Sugiyama alwa se president mlaringate el momitra vice president rablura Mrigel ngel JD Vance mong lesabe el mga adu oringi di assuringi lo se Palau ma belaw mamrigel maldir ka close allies close partners family ay gel niya ko koramle moklo tutel issue direct el mesabe la presidential reiterate el tulumu ulay kal adu ora temela kampak tandin dir ka kalkura mal lo makatakil pa sing mga rateletelel ay gel ko ka olngo serar veterans mong lo sabi ila kay gidele Vice President Vance algo assura president lo say he'll do what he can algo direct lo sergid sel almle ko pachet ramrigel el direct lo dodingel ko assemble over 40 days almle shutdown na government ramrigel sel pachet el bel say nga Trump lo sabi lo sisab ay gidel niya ko mle issue ra a veterans ra alsel mong kadamre nga sulela a president no sa mitra Che Vance kadukoram lat kalwase sila direct laring niya influencer ngir sel overall budget process rabluram rigel no sab ilal ko si sabaygel niyaus pa alid el dadi lus pa alid lablur belaw arang legal freely associated states so di mo nga FSM Marshall direct kalmar nga tele la president talmit loban trikel ko komtera kaya the Department of Interior trikel dos of ngel wase katamal closely order loban trikel gidela ko tokora compact ta direct kalmal support ay kay gidel effort gidel al malas mal lolong sura adra marigel direct kalmo sabel al mga authorengel principal deputy assistant secretary Bill Hague al girel sel 20 million al ngiya mera pensyon matulder si seludod kada mal makatakatang al mangiringi di tulder si seludod al mura presidente tegi del trip ya obengel seludod awasay ngire del gut maklia reform ra pensyon by 2027 by basically nga niya one whole fiscal year sa edelo el girel sel reform ra pensyon ma presidenta malamol mal mga adurar adra olbil matidektal board ra pensyon el girel sel reform may geludo del bladangay adangay invest mga regel rangalegel kut maklisel reform el momrek lela kadakat maklisel reform en girel molutay geludo al moram rigel mandiakal sabi ding malme ospe ilang mol mo diakal makat mo reform kita mo tara lela blal sel do meseringi di longor ke rangalegel ang sabi del ospe rangalegel direktal dia di ang kita presidential mla clarify lo asay mura pensyon din dia kalabong di brok mo lepas ala Adi kay kita ko ra sabi edel mokmong al girel selmle omral mo subes selmlo lobong al meeting al president tamlo sabi el ngaringi da Brigel obengel engel kuk deputy assistant secretary da state el ngiya landaw ang klel omla amringel ang laptop da sel video ringi da kay gidele Facebook ra US embassy engge maldir kay kada bal time el blavol deputy assistant secretary da Department of State deputy secretary da State Department poto kablo dir ka kalbor ngi ndim na merpelaw mang maldili sir al sel video ngi seral adu ngi ma president eng lo sabi el kuk ngaringate el mga dodora president el girel sel refugee agreement actually ko dole gering ilo asing TCN third country nationals monglo sabi el assured regi del wasay aigel condition sel belaw am lamastrir alwasen dia kal suadar adal nga criminal record 13 dia kal suadar adal tira maknitel ad almira bulur belaw ablal assured regi de conform gegi del top der sel video alwasi ay kel condition der adar belaw abol kul lamrikel al girel tiaygib Although amalmol malabangel sel refugee working group ma president ndir ka final al agreement al makatmokla ndir ka malamol ma although al girel say nindi swad al assurer adal wasi president ter sel lutul mamod adu ortir eng maldim lebla katakla sub the three al wasi ay gel effort ra president ma working group al mga adu ortir gel tira te ay gel kakaros al madala omredla Brabulur belaw, ludi mukul nga olbida kalulaw, rubukul belaw, marmasil belaw, alingilal mo masterir. Michael State Government, lang nga nga umteera governor, sa mar speaker, sa nga alsel say, mungan nga nga representation, arang lela bulur belaw, raigel, adu ya presidenta, maldimil katalada, raigel, nga concern sa rokuy, al malmasterir at department ra state ra Brigel, el tira kuk matala government ra Brigel, el mga adu orkid, matamla assure gid el wasay ay gel concerns are other belaw they will honor them tamok mulay gay yay gay mo odolmol mal suadal mesel ra al seltial al adu la pangela Brigel direct kalne sabi el follow up per sel kuk ngiyam le grant lo pangela USTDA minister obi ang al gidel self feasibility study ra hospital masel kranta mla maungil mla to David mla close David masel urio ra malamol malgire la askela maungil basyo ra mornya abesel hospital ringi direct kal presidenta malamol mal invite ra ar adra marigel ma direct kal tirgel kuksa lidra Qatar al mera bulurbela sel bod hostra Pacific Island Forum ra next year. Kadal abek la di madengel wase kadadir ka ngara continuing budget. President malamol mal losiga ti alen mga adurar adra olbida kalula wase nga igel sa edel kukay nga seringi mangaring akuk information nal blal lo layar adra Aways and Means ra Senate ma President Olo Labantri adra Ministry of Finance el mga tmok lahen sirtir oldar sel mura olbida kalulaw makadokora di imengil ya President tamalmol mga authority dalwaseng o ingrang ang lamos of ilother sel arang lela unified budget ra FY 2026 almer madala President tamangkuk o meseringil kasingil ang true email club say hindi kay kita ko ra sa edel update tel kuk naragel omro lela President at kung mga niya minister, ang advisor, ang direktor, sorry, del kuk nga update tireng sabiir, by the mo alam sa nila Vice President at kung mga niya sualmok mo.
Sulang chief of staff medic dikto sese agote presidente ng ngaringia malungil ay sertial as you know sometime this year yung laringi sel MOU lobanggela tial healthcare fund ra Belau lobanggela igel hospital ra India bang about a month ago tamlaringi tirgel gotel tedel patients rigid lor segid gukmlora guru ra India ikadam lesendra imoratok tang rigid hospital madirekl of course sa kuk tirgel staff ra HCF adrekl lobanggel segid lomrael mo ngaleng gatenget mumleswat el guramo madangel waseng wangarat atritelel tial lomrael el mora ayegid el hospital matamlo madangel basyol bol kiarat maguk tretelela treatment maro wil toy ay se president el blal report ringil me awase algong maralungil hospital maralungil gurur blura India matirgel guk mlo adadal adrbelaw el mora gurul amlang may malungil lugro like operational blorngi malmle successful isel niya malungil ay se Jennifer magamiyar adra media awas se sel cost tiar rogir el toquera guru ra India mal ngario compare del mora igal guk pebir basyo el dol durok ra patients rigid el morngi se ungil ay so of course kada madangel was intelligible roid omrael ngartiang al mora huriping ngar segid al huriping al mora India masegid al omrael at telgibel roy dan the overall malungil tiagid al gukmla open ra imorate al ra tirgal referral patients segid al gukmor segid al pelura India al mora gurul president takti tirel yaw ay was tiasel mal makatatal so ama open ringil lurior al sela Ministry ra Health and Human Services yasel toera the transition facility before the ulam kadong ringil waseng step down unit tirgel baby rigid tira kuk ngara hospital mlamodiakal giril occupy gal Petra Ward malmol ngaringil hindi wala ka pasyol laborngi segid el transition facility rigid makatatal daw ringi president segid finally yang usab el open atra urior roguya mlamangay mlamsi gam el alweek beginning el alweek yang marala training tir merkom selbol merek kardi mosiger selungil schedule president merkom open segid el facility etirgay el baby rigid amusab el transfer el more segid agum daswe makatatal so amat open ringit yagid finally yang basa ba edal gut maklay sa yagid urior mlamo beto kay gel ngaringi tirgel beto kal specialist mlamera belur belaw ngi tirgel canvas pack amler a few weeks ago kamior adra media mo mlam ngay tirgem le malmle klol urior algilt maklil mora adra belur belaw tirgem le adra iyo isamat tulmes tirgel kuk ngaringi warat klit tula badengir tokora iyois direct le conduct over 35 surgery rablur belaw mangmal mle successful sa igit direct kuk ngaringi tiril kuk mle toktang ramat الجوك ملم تمرا لا يقال بلور بلاو ملور نيا ورمرا المولمور نيا الجوك تيريغل كانداك تكلينيك ام لو سكرينر تيريغل اث ام رغوي تملا موراليست اللي غاريا نيكس لومرا المي ات تيريا موت تيريغل مو كانداك تا سورجري المور تيريغيد باي ذا واي الالتايم ان جوك غاريني تيريغل ادرا اس تي اي تيريغل جوك توك تانغرا اس تي اي غارا بلور بلاو الالتايم الديريكل جيرلا تويرا مادم تيريغل ادرا تي دوس بيرتيال تي الرا ميديا eda wais el mora adra blul waseng direct sa miul mora STA como meser tirge del toktang et tirge collaborate lobengel tial klol hospital gidra igay gidel toera ureor dik announce igay gid presidente kumsulang
Vice President.
Al sukumundik yang al minister el kurangan niya update tire ang vice el open el girela germangir.
Everyone. I just have a question for the Director of Public Safety and Minister of Health. Could you please advise on like the designated contact person within your ministry to handle media inquiries and police reports on incidents? Because we could do our articles and we post our stories, but the struggle that I personally have and my colleagues is that when we reach these specific two ministries, we have like struggle with the response. There's literally lack of response toward us. So, or they would refer us back and forth and we wouldn't have a specific person to talk to.
el mera Ministry of Health and Human Services madirect el mora Ministry of Justice kamsulang ramalungil gera karima dibol blakatak luwasya gera wasenta nga korap contact person ral selaguk Ministry of Health and Human Services al gamiyar adra media asab miul contact ringi kukla o gera information al girela at koira ure so kamama ngaringi tial el sela ministry ngaringi designated al ath الجيل وال ورا بي اي اورتيال مينستري جايين جيل بتو يقال بتو كل كاروس الاكتيفيتيز ان ملاير واسياسي ما غرا ولا بلول توبا اندي اي جيس السكوم سوام سومي وال ورا وك ملايا انفورميشن جير لانغي دي لوريور ngaringi tial administration algim ngaringi management ra hospital la sa miul contact ringi tangaringi adlo ringi endi since kamla tuli tayo del ger igibo igim siging kay gidal adal sa pedal directly am contact ringi bol sa bamal mas kami vital information na adang Jennifer.
On this subject, this wadal by invite rar adamirap tigel PIO al up tigel gora dola information tilwase kamam marwa oil matigal ngayas kal adra medium la create ra Society of Professional Communicators, and it's open to any private or public sector, any ministry nga government, nga national government, state, tulwase. Please, morning sa next meeting nga ma'am, malsum nga niya ngidil karmiw, and sa pamil contact ta oya, langawak, lalo ngidil tar ka ma'am, gimal invite our members, ben partner ngi, it's open to anybody, longra lolto the information al morabuay ki mal membership ya monthly membership pa mal dito dala ma please ala ki o siga sponsor ko mamal mo harat 250 ra NGO ko mamal aki ko ra dio wise mangtigel ko ra sa Maria kit yang sula president
Sulang at Jennifer, Director.
PIO rabli sa actually India hasn't been, it's not a paid position, so I'm not looking for PIO at this time. For now, also mi kom kolrak.
Sa kita bla taklalen sa director bla pulis sa pamilya directly ko director. Ya ay direct kal volunteer lo say also kung mga nga karami when you're not getting any information from the ministries malubeng di ka sa get a hold of the person you're looking for, please feel free to call Oyalo. And communications director o bisa president, she'll be able to help assist or facilitate the information coming to you. Ngaring yang Alger?
Oy, I have a couple. President, Smi arungal malbato ka LD me erul saldem dibu se kamal masar tial 20 million and finally katamlango ma kamal masar malungi lurelem. Minister iyang goradi swat el merenga sulier adara CIP mar adamel ma of course a president el akpora le ulmol morsel blumira mador mengoram lam start ten maray laurio rangi mengoradi swat lo kelwa se ang sen rail ko mga tmokangin molmor tial tuugil moramador ma tigatak porang esan dingora di so the local wase musab el direct kam katmok like rail morang esar
ya sulang jen kamu berada di luar mas kita tahu
I see.
The operation close to areas whatever provide access not the other means here most future fair see el canet de Bukmokla, como se ve del Cook for Mesa, y el bebé, Urior, la Pelur Bela, o los Pegal, el Neso, el Nara, Arsa líder a Taiwán.
Ya plans mo o improver sel didra tial sel doral rale ulmol moramador ngani sil ngarbitara blila a governor brownie si mersel ko akitike kadepel dit akora dimneswa kalo
Hindi ay mo part ra tial improvement ra rael. Oh, then seguidel se lo makaramo nga mil mora ang amyang mo trur aleu masel ay ngari nga didel ngari seguidel molgoringi masel ngarane kengal ko marael mera amyang ay mandira kal ngari nga didel ding gire del improve ay gel dit marael sel de bon en dal sepetel adita critical part del lakad improve ringi tarap sur
PSL ay sulwase siya pala mo sabiil gut maklisel masira passport mang seng maatoy
Sel mga tmokla passport lagi dal mo i-passport. Urior lo panggila IOM, logi wa krant el mlarasya van. Mang motoy.
And if you can share, Chief of Staff, since the President Smira Tret, Meetel. Ngora di swatelo ogi tiang congratulate tatara ngayas dil Ambassador Ilana Sid eral lolko ngiluwak mo nga klera mo nako, if you can share that. Ngora nga.
Yes, malsabiel. Kamal masulang Jennifer, ang mula nga telela president al mga tatura ambassador si there sel gukmle IUCN meeting ray kagi dele UAE, Abu Dhabi. Mga ambassador si daw luay sa president temle invite ra president al mo join ringi ra Monaco. So ngel Prince Albert the second ra Monaco awable night rangkal ambassador si. So bestowed her with the Order of St. Charles, which is one of the highest decorations Ersel Principality of Monaco. So, ang kangamla mo night na Monaco bears the title al Chevalier of the Order of St. Charles. Kada di mo do ulit yang alwa si tamno recognize ang ambassador si malbato ka ungi lurir longot mokla ning malble stand out sa lurir sel 2025 Blue Economy and Finance Forum. Mang kada mal nga sulila ambassador si di lungil basula tap saklol prot yang bridal libel ra. Mle kotse da sa del Blue Economy and Finance Forum ambassador seat. Mangkamlara balim lobanggela president ya president tambral mura marigel kuk mo continue meeting ringi engi ang ara balim kuk mura Monaco al mongutay gidel al award mga maldil mutual congratulate ra ambassador seat she serves as a role model al murar other bill.
Comme le mention herself, veterans benefits tigal other belal mle server a soldaw. President man sabi adal wase tigal veterans sa mo sabiin maya benefits ra al sel belaw sel blen signer ni.
Healthcare benefits.
Healthcare benefits.
Say yadim lakal sabi edel malaring ida al sel belaw le kadulus pe sel amendment tra la arab luram rigel mungul banggel tial budget el blel sa inga ringiya at Trump. So long as the care is available in Palau and sabi our veterans access or self care ya VA haraw.
The last mora president se gorang aring ida toko il maray rapalulwa se kamla signer sel agreement lo banggela tigale asylum seekers and refugees and deportees malsum sa ML henzir say malbol blakatak lal whether talo odal ay satang
Tulo odal ay sa tiya kita malblak taklil statement a president surangal whips junior at agreement algide tirakal third country national sa rabluram rigel alblal saying ringi hindi agreement ala saying ringi mabol blak taklil morar other bela rokuy ay abu adir ka malabolam ba
ya karigal mora director abli la pulis se Katome sengora igel K9 dog sa airport alokong mlamo o dia ka malbilis el ngarse yung osong sa im is it because budget ter kami wam lalaps ang tiya karila adal blool nga airport temle esker nga alme esker kaum aluvong minister.
طلع tigil adra custom at kabilis.
Oh, okay.
Yan ang mga musyon.
Okay.
Adra customa apa na mo smera mir. Hindi kay na mama. Di mo ra kasils.
Yeah, ang idibol. Akti, adam le esker hal esker.
Hindi ako.
Okay.
Doon ngilas yung ngarsay.
The last telgarige presidente ngoram ran me Thanksgiving ma family day more hindi ka mo sel employee appreciation day
Alam sa telela minister matulal and sir
So Jennifer mal happy Thanksgiving la work. Thanksgiving relara ke Jennifer agora multibra cabinet wasemo individual ministry adi til mo gora organize merusa gidal el certira next week Wednesday mang mo tamo ulang waise a couple reasons ako teng gidal Kadadari kalngartal continuing budget. Mang maring rigidal organize amaklol korong dibla. Mang mobiot rigida dil ichil ministry kora ditil magida bertir take care tir. Osusul time indiregal blool ngane gen ministries el wa hospital maring til tov rerir. Mang mobiot tira agora ditil mot makar hospital o kora celebrate Thanksgiving. Hoy, dice aquí el annual recognition or trigal employee of the year. Di malmol mang self process di akbol motrop. Ma each el minister mo appoint mo through self process ngilting mo employee of the year. Gimo TV ratara time maybe era Christmas. Kadamot makara press conference mo announce mo trot atrigagi del bukoram neto ko sel employee gidra lagak.
Yeah, well, I have you. Ngoraman na mo to karma asal di okel wase. Al sum nga ngalgira mo mereka kontraktra ngalgire di al sorry renew emrail. Ngaringi ako ra sab emel alert el tigegi del mrail ngalgira pol sabarin mala mutel alara labor pol alert til malara ngalgir rather than tamrail mo di al sabarin malang ngalgire.
Adra Bangladesh.
Oy.
Yeah, el time case by case basis. Yung mal di mayor get employer, agi screener employers will make sure engel employer sabel do the adal. Dakal bon nga issues tiral may.
Oh,
Yes,
malungit.
sabel.
Okay. The last Vice President, kamle mention el wase kata koram la open tial gora referral el mora India. A ministering ngaringi sel vital cost ra atora referral el mora outside el dodong lilwa se kata mal spend the telaludo the annually lo durok sme el mora outside.
Mal diyan sa ministry Jennifer Vital Healthcare Funds sa nga lel take care of the test cost of referral. Ang lens referral committee sa iya may decision mas together refer to the right Palau, moral rule. Then say the healthcare fund sa iya the finance review. So every quarter for the report healthcare fund local sa uwi local daw ng spending game ay draft ang website todo para mal kami breakdown so those reports healthcare fund
Tirgay kita other waya STA clinic ma canvas ma tripler tigelo may selmel gu komiskita a free lugurul ma kautian me mention na 35 amla rapot ka ngaya tal gora a spreadsheet longot mo kanya ministry el sabi el lo oti el wase kadam le save atelang because tigay del adam lo sabarin may provide ay del services
mal girel ngaringi Jennifer leng aigal service le provide trigal toktang al may trigal specialist el mirablur belaw adi tada adi level take care niya igel cost of travel why ticket tir ay gidi at haraw lo long seur tir when they come in it provide the service ro girel di tada I'm sure in sabi edel compile ay gigi del records emro takakti malwilar mo kara adra senate ma ulbira lulaw litamle adapter resolution last week or sa last session or tir el mrenga sulir tirgel gan vaspak tim nartiang em lamraen ya reporter tir ang otil wasing siral gotlo multial gan vaspak tim el mirablur belaw el provide a service en melmutre lang ya cost ringi overall cost except tertiali tiagi the last trip per til kadam la ya kabel men trebela am la spend over $600,000 in this sell niya value ra service el blado receiver ni over $7 million say dia klungela service el value ra igal lurior el provider gid tigai tok tangal nga rekrel bela me support gid
the last talgariga mo na Minister Jenkins, the chief mission mentioned Oh, special advisor, Come, special advisor Jenkins mentioned about the financial finances, and then as you remember at the first last administration when you were minister, I asked you about how we can do. Financial literacy into the schools, and now we hear a lot of people talking about it. Has the ministry decide or to input it in their school system?
Thank you for that question, Jim. That's actually something we've been working on for over a year. We've been coordinating with then Minister Udui to incorporate expertise from Minister of Finance into our curriculum to teach financial literacy. Now, the other issue is that we're looking at we're introducing the advanced placement program this year at the high school level, which is college level in course, and we're starting off with English language and with AP statistics, both of which will be hopefully tested in the spring. And then based on the results of those, the students may gain college credit and or certification by a national certifying body. We just found out just a few days ago that the advanced placement program is adding a new class, 2 new classes actually, one of which will fit perfectly into our business administration academy, and it specializes in financial literacy. And so that's an entire year-long course which will be given beginning in next year. It doesn't, they're not ready to be outlined. They're bringing it out just for next year. And the first testing will be in 2027. Based on that, the students will be at their junior year, be able to take a full year course incorporating financial literacy into their academy. So that's really exciting. The other which we are going through would be the computer or cybersecurity, which is another new course that the Advanced Placement Program has just implemented 2 days ago, and it'll be going through next year as well. And we look to incorporate that into our students' work. The other thing before you get away, the other thing we have is to try and bring in more people into the educational career, we've instituted one of our academies as the Teacher Academy, and we have 19 students who have enrolled, and they're taking courses taught by many of our MOE employees who are giving them basic instruction in educational philosophy and theory, and 3 days a week they actually go out into the schools and learn to see what the real schools are like. Okay, thank you.
Vice President. What new accessibility standards or guidelines will government agencies and Ministry of Health be required to follow because of today's proclamation of antimicrobial resistance and International Day of Persons with Disabilities? And what specific surveillance or monitoring systems will be strengthened locally following these proclamations?
Sa anak ng koe, sa sebuah national policy, boleh tidak lalu dia berbenah, mau implement lagi itu malu mesti koe prevention, control lagi itu area, AMR. Selalu yang sedikit sedikit sebab 100% cases, we are set out lagi itu guidelines, walau tidak la Ministry of Health, mereka berbuat. Given given rural medicine given prevention control so if you want then always provide a practice lagi already on the side again tinggal tinggal ministry
Po era bodol masum e bodon tira Vice President mabolom te era Presidental recognizer tirigel tira kuk tukubet silsil sir tirel al silsa.
YC. So lang Chief of Staff di clue tel mal di akmatengel blom touch ringi Chief of Staff di clue tel lom te era President ma arangalela igalbek el Ministry Rogui di kulingit ta support ra ulbir ra kululawar tial yosang rigid. Gimlaw receive a bebira report alwasa bebira ministry a direct waram lamo start el struggle ra bebira services er tier because enti igid el continuing budget el ngara al serrel al time mang ti osperti al te al direct el di ora reach out el mora ulbira kululaw mal direct el help out el gerel ti al situation el ngara al sel. And so marmarti igid el part ra ti al press conference rigid me bogum tera presidente tangarnyar teim el laureor rakabalmen belau el tira gukto gubet sil tir elang madito usperti al te ale boda recognizer tire ngarnia nga wilbur telay nga laureor immigration Ministry of Finance ngarnia linda mo gisang nga gukto bra food service ra Ministry of Education direct ngarnia Virginia Guterbis direct ngara Ministry of Education ngarnia nabors ngirumrang nga ku kaurior Bureau of Public Works MPII Minister of Yang engel mo mulbong la sum at chin nga ku kaurior sa lobis ra public auditor tirgayil tei maguk tugubet sil tire lang tanjo birtir madom tera presidente bota wisir tira malungil tanjo bi happy birthday to all 5 of them direct maraw lebong tiagoram la touch ringi minister matul kita matengel was next week in Thanksgiving ra belul af mangagumtera president marbek ministers ma executive branch malwis ra roguil other belaw ngara alsel may krel belaw happy Thanksgiving morarbek la other roguye o direct lo bengela family day direct lo duwi sa arbek laad ngara alsel belaw Michael belaw happy family day morarbek laad rogui gege kamal misulang chief of staff legor
Conference rigidra next week ding moringi aigel kuk ribong kating ra aigel project tel la momre ke Miss Jennifer Sugiyama ataring yang arang esar makamem ko holding lara selbal water ngersul engul taw rior komal masulang